cadence. So does Carolyn's horse. A lot of energy and natural. His is even a little more collected, a little shorter, a little more under behind, because he is a little older and he knows a little more. That's a 7-year-old, correct, Carolyn? And that's a 5-year-old. And you can see the difference. We have to develop more collection in this horse, but she has all the elasticity and the power in the world. And this horse also, Borghi's horse, has a lot of ability for collection as well.
Yeah,
so
see that.
These are all horses with talent. And of course, like people, they don't have exactly the same talents. But that's our job as trainers to pick out what is this horse good at, capitalize on that, and try to develop that, and then teach them the rest. And you've got to work around every horse like that. So with the gray, with Carolyn, I would like to see him just a little steadier in the bridle. He is there's too much motion going on.
Yeah.
And we fixed it a lot from yesterday. So we can get even further. And he has a tendency to tilt his nose to the right a little bit, disconnect then the energy coming from the hindquarters to the mouth. Because when they do that, they very effectively cut off all the power. So you want his head to be straighter and his ears more level. And I don't know if you can feel that, Carolyn, can you? Yes. Okay, now he is really thinking that all this contact, Fergie, is a little more than he needs. So he's doing this little stuff with his head. Don't worry, just keep your hands there and leave him there, and eventually he's going to bore himself with this. Don't fight him with your hands. Don't say anything, but look, you're going to stay on contact, and if he gets bad with it, give him your leg, okay? Just ask him with your leg. Don't try to fight him with your hands. He will love that. That's just what he's inviting you to do. So, and hands together and close and not quite so low, huh? John, she looks really nice in the bridle. Her neck is out where it should be, but you could lower your hands a tad and try not to stand up on your toes like that. When you sit down in the saddle, sit straight down, stay in the center of gravity. Don't try to sort of dip forward. There you go. Use your weight. When it comes down in the saddle, it's almost like you give her a little half vault, isn't it? You come straight down, don't go, and set yourself up for a little bit more collection. Because with all these wonderful gaits and all that elasticity, that's the good news. But when you want to compact them and put them together for collection, you got more work to do than, for example, Bergie, who has a horse that has an easier time collecting. Okay, working trot sitting horse so that it starts doing funky things underneath you. Now, we did this yesterday, but we're going to do it again because I just want to show you how we can start the horses in some easy lateral work. So John, if you would be kind enough to go all the way down, turn down the center line and leg heel to the left over to that wall. And everybody else does the same thing. And we can watch the leg heel with the different horses. Now this only teaches the horse respect for the leg and to go sideways and forward, crossing his legs at the same time. The horse will look slightly away from the direction it's moving. Good. Now here she comes. You can see her cross a little bit. She's slightly bent away and her rhythm stays the same. Her cadence is the same. And she's very nice on the bit. That is a beautiful leg heel. Good. And this Caroline is so much better, huh? He was so stinky yesterday about his legs. He said, I'm not doing this, and certainly not going straight. And forget it. Good. Both of these improved from yesterday. He's slightly leaning with his haunches.
He doesn't have as much
which is why he didn't like that so much. It can be more improved. Okay, so once more you can watch it this way, and then you will see that there's a difference between left and right. Horses, like all of us, are asymmetrical. And all horses come crooked to one side or the other, just like all of us are left-handed or right-handed. Thank you, that's fine. We'll change the rein in a minute. Good, and go ahead. Well, you better decide sooner than that or you won't get where you're going. Then you just waited too long, Kevin, to ask him, and then he went, what do you want? So now you had to make too wide of an angle, or too steep of an angle. That wasn't fair to the horse. This is good. All right, Bernie, you got it, okay? That was much better. Okay, really, he got it. He got it with the sideways, but you've got to keep your hands still so he can find them. because he's just doing that to annoy you until you use your leg more to push him into the right. Okay, so that's enough leg yields. There she's back, right, range on. Right, that's it, got it. Push him, when she does that, straighten her neck and just push it with your left leg into the right leg. And don't buy into it by doing this, because she goes, yes, that's just where I want you. So now I'm going to twist a little more at the pole. And guess what? You can't get to me at all with your leg. Okay. Well, you know, we know you're very good at this, but that's enough, okay? Let it go. Okay, so let's go back. I'm just kidding. Okay, so let's go back again to the working trot, sitting for a moment. And then we're going to proceed. Maybe we should let them walk. You're right about that. A little walk. And then, before we continue, we go on. So this is the simplest form of a lateral movement. And one that teaches the horse respect for the leg. When my left leg goes on your horse, you better yield over there. When my right leg says over there, you yield to the left. Period. End of report. And stay in the bridle and don't twist and pull and try to do other things or lose your impulsion, which is the envy. So the next thing we move on to is the shoulder in. Much more difficult because now we ask for bend. Now we're asking the horse to bend throughout his body, from his pole to his croup. Not easy for horses. They're very stiff through the spine naturally. The rib cage gets in the way. They don't like bending. And why would they ever bend like that in nature? Never would they do that. So we use it to make them more supple, and we're always into this throughout the whole training of the horse, making them equal in both sides. And we do that because we want the horse to become comfortable transportation. And we want to just be able to instantly say something and have him go forward in front of the leg, bend either way. For horses, this makes no sense at all. And it takes years to get them to be even on both sides. And the interesting thing is that if you have to lay a horse up for several months, even if it's fully trained, you sort of have to go back to that same basic suppling thing because they snap out of it really fast. So the next thing that we do is a shoulder in. That is a 3-track movement, and we're going to take all of them down, like we did yesterday, girls. Take all of them down center line so they can see understand what I mean by that. When the horse comes down the center line and the shoulder in, what you should see if you're right in front of the horse is actually 3 legs. So that the right front, if we go this way, the right front and the left hind are working on one track, and the left front and right hind are working on separate tracks. That is a 3-track movement. It is the only 3-track movement that we perform in dressage. We perform it all on horses. So a little bit more bend. It's very little bend. Good. But the left hind and right hind in this case, and left front, were on the same track. Okay, at the walk again. And this is one of the most difficult things to perform correctly. It is also the most useful exercise we have for creating collection, which is our ultimate goal. Good? 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 Fine. Takes very little bend. Only when we used it on the wall, only 30 degrees away from the wall. But that's the point. 3 tracks, not more. That's too much, John. Little less. Yeah, no, and there you lost little less. Little less there. Okay. It's much less than you think. And it's very difficult for the horse to stay right there. So then could we just do it the other way once? And there you go. Well, you're doing it the other way. Good for you. And now at the trot, you have to go further down for the trot though. So start trotting, go straight, and then. And John, if you would come down the entire center line at the trot in the shoulder in, that would be great. Go down to the other end and start there. Doesn't matter which way. And the Duke of Newcastle, and he also wrote books about riding, but he was very cruel to the horses, so it didn't go over very well. But we do have to give him credit for this movement, which is incredibly useful. Okay, shoulder in. Yeah, steady. Well, that wasn't very smart. You turned left and did the shoulder in right. Turn left and stay on the left, because that confused him, didn't it? You need to be sure. That's right. And shorten your left rein and don't open your fingers on the left. And by doing that little maneuver up there, you confused him. And he was like, Carolyn, get a life. Good. Right rein, left leg, there you go. Okay, little too much angle, but well done. You're off the hook. You don't have to do it again. Okay, 3 tracks. That's it, John. And with her big movement, you have to be so careful. You move and something happens. You breathe, something happens. All right, that was super. Very good. Yeah, and she is some movers. Good. There you go. That's so much better. Quiet right rein. Okay, you don't have to do the whole way. Just straighten him again. Now he likes you better. At the end, it was too wide, a little too wide. And walk, please. So this movement can be done on the wall as well. And usually we do it on the wall. And just go 30 degrees approximately away from the wall. I just wanted all of you to see what I mean by 3 tracks. So after this, we can do a variation of shoulder into hunches in, which means you keep the same bend, but you move the hunches off the wall instead. We're going to do this on the wall because it's a little hard on these young horses to do it anywhere else. So you have the same amount of bend as shoulder in. You simply switch the forehand and the hunches so that the horse is now going in the direction it's looking. This makes it 100 times more difficult, and it's the precursor to the half pass. So this is how we introduce the half pass, which is the most difficult, also the most spectacular when it's done well, of the lateral movement. So let's do, that's right, you just do a shoulder in at the walk on the wall, and then a little punches in and change it. Now in the shoulder in, I told you it's 30 degrees approximately, not more. The hunches in, you can do it a little more, and it then becomes more of a schooling movement when you do more bend. That's good, John. That's it. That's it. And then you can exaggerate if you want, John, and put hunches a little more in, only as a schooling exercise to stay really bent. Good. And don't lift your hands too much, and don't stick your left elbow out. Position right, yeah, and stay with her. Stay with him here, Carolyn. Stay with him. No, you're leaning left and he's going right. Get your weight on your right seat bone. Weight on your right seat bone. Good. Or sit just in the middle. You don't have to be so dramatic, but don't change the seat. And now he's doing a reverse shoulder in. He's not doing a hunches in anymore. Okay, let's see what you can do here. And I'm sure you will do lots better if you pick up your rein. Yes, just shorten your rein. The two of you are just so feeding. You know each other too well. You're just feeding off each other. Okay. That's it. Good go. Yeah, and then forward. Here, lost impulsion. Not a good thing. They have to always keep the energy, whatever you ask them, and not try to quit, get behind the leg, think backwards. Then nothing happens that is right. Good job. That's it. So this is the hunches in. The bend is the same as the shoulder in. We have switched position of the forehand and the hunches. And now we have the third one, another favorite, and that's the round burst. Now the horse is coming in with his hunches. John is showing you here. In with his hunches, and out with the hunches and in with the shoulder. And now we are working on the bend the other way. And some tests at second level ask for a switch from one to the other. Not easy to do. That is a very difficult transition. And since all our tests is nothing but a bunch of transitions, this is one of the worst ones. So let's try to do that at the trot. We will start with the shoulder in, and then you can go to hunches in when you feel like it, and then to rounders, okay? Or maybe we should all do the same thing. What do you think? Will that confuse them too much? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so sitting trot. Just sitting trot, and then shoulder in. Everybody does the shoulder in down the long side. With shorter reins, what a surprise. Yes, there you go, Bernie, right? Shoulder in, and move the shoulder in a little bit more. Shoulder in, keep your hands a little, one inch lower. Otherwise, it looks a little like you're holding her up jaw. You don't want to get the impression that there you go, good. Quieter in the right, but that was good. So shoulder in once more, then the next long side, we're gonna all do a hunches in. Or a traverse, the other word, but that has another name, traverse or hunches in, but hunches in make more sense to us. Okay, so yeah, good. And a little more energy work, don't do that yet. Okay, keep at the shoulder, stay at the shoulder till the next time. There she's going, just beautiful, John, huh? That's super. Okay, and now one long side of punches in, and then the last one rounders, and we've shown all the varieties. So shoulder in, bend and through the corner, good job. And now keep it moving because the mare will catch up with you otherwise. Go, go, go. Go, go. That's right. Yeah, yeah, that's all he needs. A little bit more energy. That's it. Good girl, Corey. All right. And then punches in. Right? And there she's a little bit against your head and a little tight in the neck and back, huh? And yep, come on, get his butt in. That's right. And then sit straight and just take the right rein and bend his head to the right. That's okay. You can put his head to the right and yeah, that's right. And make him listen now. Say, listen, here, there you go, Carolyn. But you gotta really say something to him. Make it clear. Be clear again to all of the riders. Shoulder in up this wall here. Half circle up there, as small or big as you want it, and a long half pass, not a short, hard one, a long half pass to the right. And trot, please. And don't get in each other's hair now. Keep your distances so that we can see each horse, and then we can compare. And that's what's interesting here. So go ahead, or you can do it to the left, I don't care. But shoulder in or practice something down this long side and then come from the other short side where you do the half circle. Yeah, move him on a little bit more because when you do, I promise you, you get him more in front of your leg and he will stop bumping against your hand. He will like the contact rather than try to get away from it. And then collected trot, and this needs a collected trot. Now we're talking between second, third level. Now the horse is supposed to look to the left and bend to the left and go to the left. And as you can see, this is a horse in development. He's not quite sure how to get all that accomplished. But he always does what you ask him in the end, doesn't he? He always does, but a little bit of complaint with his connection. Good, there you go. There's a good starting half pass. It's fluid, it's forward, it's not overbent, and the horse is fairly comfortable doing this. Okay, continue on the other way. Now, little shorter left rein and put your weight in your left foot, left big toe, and let's go, Carol. That's right. Come on, come on. Yeah, you can give him another clop with the leg. He's not loving this, is he? That's okay. He has to learn it, right? Position him left, and there was one that said, I don't know why you're making this. It's hard. Good. That's it. Both legs on him. Good girl. Quiet outside rein, and he will get over there easily. But you can see that the horse that has the easiest time with this is Ballerina, because she has that natural lift and swing. And then we have our horse that is easy to collect here with Borgie, and that one also has a fairly easy time with it. And here we have the one that has great extensions but doesn't like this very compacted head. But one thing you could do, Carolyn, is try to not twist your body either way. You have this feeling that you need to do something dramatic with your seat while the horse does this. This doesn't help. Both of you did great that time. Thank you. You can both walk. And then Carolyn, once more. And this time I just want you to sit in the middle and put a little weight on your right toe. Don't make it so difficult that now. Okay, another question for you. As you walk for a minute, as you make your turns, you never make use of the turns. You turn down the center line, and then you let the horse straighten, and then you start all over with work. Here's the turn. That's why we make you turn like that. Turn, you have to position it, the horse is ready, just let him go that way. And don't try to twist your upper body any which way, sometimes even away from the horse when he has to drag you over there. Go with him. Put your fingers here, your hands here, your eyes where you're going, and just ask him to keep going. And don't make it so huge. Have a plan. Navigate. I want to circle this big, and then I want to go. Make it much smaller. Now get over there, hustle over to the corner, and do it again. Contact and steady, and a little energy, and shorten your reins, and then think about using the turn for it too. And please, would you two just get out of the way so we can see her? There you go. Thank you. And then a little half circle. A little one. Make it easier for her. That's a little half circle. Go back and half circle again. Little. That's right.
She's tough, but she's like nice.
So maybe 15 meters, no more, huh? Left leg. Left leg. Good. And positioning left. Now keep turning. Now take him back to the wall with that bend, with that bend, with that bend. That's easier, huh? So, good. Thank you. So now you will see that by, if you ask the horse the question, and the question was too hard for him to understand,
Watch this horse because he's not as talented.
you've got to
The other
find
horses
the
are like, oh, they
question
do it
and
easy,
give you
but
the right answer, or make you have to back off and make it easier so he understands and can then steady and connection and working canter on the bit. He almost is doing it on the bit now. Could you please hang on to that upside rein and make sure he does? No, hang on and sit down. Don't stand up when he does that. Good. Okay, we now have all the horses at the canter, and you can see that actually the most collectible horse at the canter is our gray with Carolyn. He has an easy time with his balance and pretty good self-carriage, which means he can carry his rider with ease. See, she can give the rein, which we call überstreichen, the horse stays in the frame. This one has a very good canter too, but he's a little more downhill, and he has to learn to sit back and take the connection, not so quick with your hands, slow hands and a strong leg. Slow hands and more legs. And this horse has a huge canter, elastic, big, beautiful, and is therefore going to be a little more difficult to collect. It'll work, but it'll take a while. Because in this game there is no free lunch. So you get a wonderful horse like that, but with collection, it's going to be more interesting. That's much better, Borgie, huh? Good for you. Don't laugh. It's great. That really looks nice. He's so steady. Yeah. No, and don't do that. You ruined the whole thing. Very good. And then let's see some down transitions. That's more difficult than forward transitions. Much. So starting with John, prepare her and trot on and try to stay. That's right. And then forward and Morgie, watch where you're going because that horse has such a big stride. She'll run you over. Okay. Again, canter please, and then back to the trot, one by one. Carolyn first to the trot, steady hands, yes, good. Like that one. And then stay at the trot and we'll turn around. And forward transition, he jumped out of your hands a little bit, Morgie. Now roll, quiet, keep the connection and ask him to trot into your hands. This transition is very difficult, the down transition, and very important. Okay, you hung on this time, well done. All right, and then walk please, and reverse. So this is one transition that is never easy for any horse, and that stays with us all the way through Grand Prix, which some riders tend to forget. So when I judge the Grand Prix sometimes at the very end of the test, there is right in front of the judge, there's a transition to the trot. And you should see some of those horses look surprised. It's like, I don't do that anymore. And why are we keeping him in the Grand Prix? Because that transition is a very clear indication of the amount of throughness in the horse, in the back. If they can't go from a canter to a trot, there is a problem in the back and in the connection. That's why we can't put in the Grand Prix. And riders seem to forget this. Sometimes they don't practice it. And then, yes, you have a surprised horse and a bad score. So when I go out to try a horse that is trained for some, for some rider or something for a student, I always do that transition and right away I can tell whether it's really working or all systems are go or something is stuck in there underneath my butt. Okay, and that's easy to do. You cause tension with all this sometimes and they get stiffer, not more supple. So then we're going from the walk to the canter this time, one by one. Don't do anything before I ask Karen. Okay, shorten up your reins, please, Borgie. And then show us the transition from walk to canter. How did you like it? He listened, he always listens, and then you do something funky with your hands. So if you could just sit there and let him listen that well without flipping your fingers about and giving too soon or too late. Your timing with that has to be better. Okay, now slowly bring him back to the walk. Connection, sit, use your weight as well, use your lower back, use your center of your core, and walk, please. That took a while now, huh? I think we need to go and practice that one. But the forward transition needs to be on more connection, and you don't flip the hips just as he tries. He immediately listens to your leg, and then you disturb him in the mouth. This one he did give you a little brief. You tried to correct it, but it took a long time, and it was like a draw. All right, John, please. Canter, walk to canter, and back again to the walk. This is where these horses are now learning, because none of them are old enough to do this perfectly yet. Now with this beautiful, long, liquid canter, and it's hard to do that, but that was very well done. Good timing, right there. But with that much canter going for you, you really have to pick the right moment, or she will crash right through the bridle. And that was good riding. Okay, canter, left lead, please. And not legs on the dashboard, Karen, huh? Yeah. Legs back, left leg back. There, put it right there. Now sit in the saddle. Yeah, and talk to him with your outside rein, with your half holds, little half holds, little half holds. Tell him what you're gonna do. Yeah, tell him what you're gonna do. Contact, and then pick the right moment. Yeah, not bad. Not a little against your hand. Pretty good, huh? So, in the transitions in particular, timing is everything. But timing is everything in life for all of us. But you got to be able to feel just when to ask and when not to. And that's what John did, because he had the most difficult horse, and he worked pretty well for you too, Carolyn. And you finally asked your horse, come on now, you're going to do this now, but you have to go through this little battle with him. And he's not used to that. He's not used to you saying things like that. You will do this now. So he can't believe his bad luck in coming here. But you have to be sure that you continue to ride him with a little more authority, or he will never go on. And that would be a shame with such a horse. You know, the honeymoon is over, okay? Now it's time to ride. All right, we're back. Okay, that was a draw, wasn't it? Right leg, left leg, push him out. He's not as wild. Your hands were much better, and he appreciated that. But feel how he can canter up here? When you just ask for it, shorten your reins a little more, show me that canter again. Not bucking, push his nose up, push his nose up. Oh, he is so annoyed you found out about this, he can't stand it. It's like, I can't believe it. Get me out of here. Okay, left rein, right leg, and bring him back out again. But you see how much power he has in his hind leg? When you can just elevate his shoulder. That's right, and you're going to have to say, come back here. There was nothing wrong with that. Now long rein on Tracy. And he bought into that and said, okay. And eventually we will have him super round, right? And just, he will do it because it's easier to do it than to fight you. But he has to come to that decision. And if you never ask for it, he will never come to that decision. And he won't, he won't proceed. And he has to. Okay, so John get back to that again. That time, your timing was not as good as it could have been. And furthermore, when you thought she was going, you leaned forward and you got ahead of the motion. That's what we call it when the rider slightly gets ahead. And then the horse hesitated and she started a transition downhill instead. Okay, I like that much better. You sat still, you were very quiet, you didn't move in the saddle, and she's immediately cantering more balanced in the first drive, and you don't have to fix anything. Keep the weight on the big toe and steady. That transition needs work. She's only 5 years old. We don't expect her to be perfect, but I will give you a little hint. Next time for the down transition in particular, put her a little bit in the shoulder forward, not a shoulder in, but a shoulder forward. And put her and keep her in that outside rein to help the inside leg to carry her better through the transition. Just try it and see if, because that's where she is now. She's working on the counter candles, so she's sometimes a little confused. Good and steady. And she was slightly against your hand, but very responsive. Shorten your reins a little bit. Put her in a shoulder four, in a slight shoulder four, and you can also lightly touch her. Yeah. Okay, let's try it again. She wasn't enough in the shoulder four. Try it again. Contact, sit, and good. I would like to also not have her get tight in the pole in the forward transition, but stay a little more through in the pole. This is a beautiful canter, but now you have to shorten it and make it a little smaller and a little more sideways. Put the right leg on the John and the thigh and the left rein, and then keep giving the half holds in the left rein. Make her look to the right, not the left. Half hold, make it smaller, make the canter smaller, and make it smaller, and make it smaller, and sit and tighten it up a little bit from behind. Yeah, a little smaller until she's there. Now walk. Sit back and wiggle. Okay? Okay. Very good. With a horse with this much movement and talent, you really have to set them up for success. Otherwise, she will always try to plow through because she can't help herself. You know, there's so much power and so much elasticity. She doesn't know what to do with it all. And that's why you need to trick her a little bit and make her really sit like you did there, and then she always works with you. She said, oh, now that was easier. And it can become very useful to put the horse a little sideways when you get in this kind of a situation, because you get more control of the inside hind leg. And then your outside rein is so much more effective. And I talked a lot to these riders now about half holds. And half holds is probably the most mysterious word in our language that we use, of all the mysterious things we say. But it's actually the one thing that is a real language between the horse and the rider. When you give the horse a half hold and it goes through, as we say, it's as if you pick up the phone and the horse picks up the phone and says, you rang, and then you give them the order and they know what to do. It's a warning to the horse, hello, I'm about to ask you for something. It also serves to make the horse shorter in the body, more engaged behind, more collected, and bring it back up under your butt more. So he's more ready to be like a coil spring and perform whatever you're going to ask for next. And so it engages the horse and it gets his attention, and if you're really successful, it also lightens his forehand and makes the contact just perfect. But we use it all the time. It's the kind of thing that I could stand here and explain this to you for an hour and you would understand everything I say in theory. But you will never understand it until you're on a school horse that knows what it is and it responds. All of a sudden, all the words you heard will go, oh, and the big revelation. That's what they meant. But you can talk about half but until you felt it, forget it. You won't understand it. You have to feel a horse that knows what you mean when you juxtapose your driving aid with your holding aid for just that few seconds. And the horse comes up and goes, yes, I'm ready, what do you want? And when the half hold doesn't go through, and you're heading for, say, a pirouette in a test. Here you are, you're getting ready for your pirouette, and you're going, half hold, hello, hello, and nobody is picking up the phone. And come on now, get ready for this. And you can tell, coming out of the corner, when your half pirouette is supposed to be at exit, it isn't gonna work, because nobody's home. So the half hold is a very good indication that you and your horse, that means a clear transition on each side. And yes, you have to sit down, Carolyn. So, and let's see what, okay, so here is John. And there's a longer, softer, those lovely looking trot. Shorten your reins a little bit. Next time go across the diagonal, John. because the medium is not done. There you go. Now there is a totally beautiful medium. Thank you. Okay, collector up again. Let's see that just once more. That was so pretty, we want to see it again. So he prepared, and there she is. Now, a lot of this, thank you, John, that's beautiful. A lot of this is natural in this horse, but you got to be able to engineer it. And John is responsible for transition. And again, forward transition was almost built in. That was easy. But transition back is not, because she is going so big that he really has to organize it and start it with half horse before he gets to the corner, which he did. He did a fine job with that. Okay, so if you will go around to the next, yeah, go ahead. Prepare, prepare, take your time, good. Great, and now bring him, that's right. Very good transitions on this horse, and this is another one, this he can do. He's really cool with this. Okay, because he is a very collectible horse. Come again, Carolyn, just like that. And you sat well, huh? Very good. Connection, sit, look straight, navigate, and then ask and follow. There you go, good girl. Easy, everything. And he loves that. Can you see? This is his parade number. He just loves it. Good. And now we're going to try again. Contact on the end. That's enough. John and Caroline, thank you. And now we're going to work on him a little bit. Push him into the bridle. And get him ready. Contact both legs, elbows bent, and look up. Come on. Both legs. Yeah, that's it. Get him ready. When you tell him hello, I'm going to ask him for something. And straight, and yes, and go. Come on, come, give. He's ready. Come on, give. All right. And he only thought about you a little more too much left rein there. Huh? Try to half hold and push him together a little bit more. There you go. And then once more. And this time, not only did you sit, but he didn't canter like you did yesterday. He's getting it. But you need to keep him straighter. Not so much left rein. Even reins. Good. Now follow with your hand once. Good. Follow with your hands once he says yes. This is one time when I'm not going to scream about a little longer rein. Good. And good girl. All right. Now we practiced this yesterday, thank you, on the circle, just to get the horses like rubber bands. And that is one thing that this is supposed to do. The horse is supposed to lengthen and shorten its frame, its stride, without going faster and without resisting. And both this one, eventually, because he's very collectible, we really find his stride in it. But you've got to practice much more the transitions. So the first thing I teach my riders is we're not doing mediums or anything or lengthenings. We're practicing transitions. And this is very important to do. And the hardest part. Okay, so let's pick them up and walk on again. So we have medium canter to a collected canter. And that is very important. Okay, shorten up your reins, all of you, and we're going to start one by one. So we start this time, because you went last before, we'll start with you working. Nice collected canter, and then don't go across the diagonal, because then we will be on the opposite lead, right? Go down the long side in a medium canter. I didn't love that transition. Get back again. You know, he's still thinking he can get away with this stuff, and you need to be more organized and say, no, we are over that, buddy. Good. Hold on to the outside rein and ask, maybe not so hard with your leg, but be sure you keep him in the connection. And ask again. Good connection. That's it. You got it. Okay. Much better. Now, steady, but your timing was better and your feel was better. And it's always about the rider, isn't it? So pick him up again. Good. And steady. And then leave her the rail to go. I think he's getting tired of this whole scene. Shorten your reins. Good. And then off the rail down there so she can have the rail. And then down the long side in a nice big round uphill canter. Transition, half hold, go. That's good. And forward, and a little bit left leg. Little bit left leg. His rear end is coming in. Half hold, bring him back. On the short, and keep your leg on him, and sit, girl, sit. That's right. Good job. Now medium again. Where are you going now? Okay. Let's go back up and then down the long side. Half hold. You sit. Use your weight. Use your core. That's right. Keep him up. And now go. Really ask. Just like that. Now bring him back. Right rein, left leg. Come on. Bring him back. Bring him back. Bring him back. Bring him back. Good. Good job. Okay. And back to the trot. Well, I must say he finally believed you. He said, God, a woman won't get off my back. And that's it, so I'll do it. And he was thinking of giving a hungry stuff, but he just said, okay, fine. And this, you need to have him more respectful, truly, of what you tell him. He needs to say, yes, I will try to do it. He doesn't have to be perfect, but he has to try. He can't say, just bug off. That's not his deal, okay? He needs to stop that and start trying. And because he can do it. If I thought he was not a very capable horse, I would just get much nicer about it and say, listen, let's not torture this animal, he can't do it anyway. That's not the truth. This horse is very capable and very smart. But of course, if he doesn't have to, why should he? You know, he's not the type that is going to go to try to give you extras. You have to ask for it, and you have to tell him again and again until he says, okay. And you will be amazed what this horse can do. And he's very collectible, very well built, and very smart. A little too smart. I sort of like them when they're not quite that smart. I want them, you know, smart enough to know what I want and dumb enough to do it. That's the kind. Okay, so we're going to watch that. Well, I think we should do it backwards this time. We'll watch him first. So shorten up, left hip forward, both legs. Why is he crooked like that? Straighten up. If anything, he should be in a shoulder for, not in the haunches in. That's right. Good, Carolyn. Yeah. No, the haunches are coming in. Put them out. That's right. You hold it. There you go. Now you're in a good position to ask for the canter. You got it. Well done. Good. And now set him up and show how much he can collect before you ask for the medium. Push him out a little bit. He's crooked. You feel he's doing the haunches in? Move his hocks to the wall. That's right. And on the next long side, keep him straight, and then ask for the medium. Yes, correct. And forehand, and steady, and eye up, and then your eye up, and now go. Go. And long. Good. Not, whoa. All right. That's a little more than we asked for. Gee, I'm getting windburned. Okay. Left leg, right leg, steady. Whoa. Little slower. Can we have a little slower? You don't have to go faster. The point is longer. Right, it's plenty, okay? Good girl. And he's straighter too. Well done. Whoa, right leg, left leg. Sit up, a little bit. Make him sit, Nah, he cannot stop. That was a big effort, but canter on. Come on. Canter on. What are you doing? Sit up straight, put your hands low, and canter. Right, good. And again. Forward, steady, not too fast, because you can't control it. That was good. Half hold, and push it back into, yes, just like, that was a good walk, good transition back. All right, and now back to the walk. Well done. He has so much ability to collect, you know, and his transitions can be, on this side, he always carries his hocks a little to the left. You need to be really aware of that, and there's the straightness issue we talked about. He's always crooked left. Lots of lateral work to make that work out. So, and in the canter left lead, you need to ride your shoulder in for a year, and not let him do that. And you have a mirror at home? Okay, well you need to find something. You have to make one, put one up, because you'll see, and you ride towards the mirror. You go, oh my God! And if you're not sure, look. You can turn your head and look, and you see where the haunches are. Oh, that's not good. And as soon as he's straight, he has a whole different balance, doesn't he? And self-carriage. Okay.
And I hate to cut you off, unfortunately, we're out of time.
Okay, well, we just want to see that horse do one more thing with that. I promise. Okay. Canter left feet. Good. Steady. And go. And half hold. And then come around Steady outside rein. Good. Little, yeah, keep your hands, no, that's it. And you can always power forward with your hand. You don't have to keep your rein. That's a good rein leg. Super. And then set her up and go. You see how much ground that horse covers?
So pretty.
And bring her back slowly and compact her a little bit. Good. And then once more, and then we will stop. Steady outside rein, big uphill stride. You can see the future in that, huh? Half walk,